Hello, everybody. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Baseball Talk for Monday, June 6th. As always, I'm going to have my five top steaming hot hitters to add, and then I'm going to do my best to give you a preview of the best pitchers to stream over the next 3 days. Did the best research I could given the information that is available to me tonight at 7:15 Pacific time on Monday morning. Not a whole lot to talk about in my daily life. I'm going on vacation in a week. I'm excited to go to a place that I went to last year and absolutely loved. I can't wait to go back and check out some new places. I found a place to stay today that is not only is it really affordable, it's actually the most affordable place I found. But they also offer a lot of amenities that might be perfect. That might be, I may not even have to leave the town that I'm staying in, because I'm still trying to formulate a plan for my last 2 nights there. And if I can get a couple, I sent them I asked them a couple of questions through email. I'm waiting to hear back on that. I'm excited for the answers that they may provide me. I may not have to leave that place. I may just stay there for 2 nights instead of going somewhere else for night 3 like I had originally intended, because there's some things I want to see or try and see in this particular place that may I don't know. I can't really go into it much because I don't want to spoil the surprise of what I'm doing and where I'm going, but there is something I really want to see in this place, and I may be able to see it right there in this place I'm staying. So that'd be the cool thing, number one. The second thing is these people presumably offer tours, so I may not have to leave. I may not have to pay to catch a bus or a train or something to another place to go see these places if these people are going to offer it for me through them, in which I pay, still pay, but pay less than what I'm already doing. So if I can get all those things provided for me, I'm just going to stay at this place for 2 nights and not have to go stay at a third place. Something's going on with my nostril here. I don't know what it is. I'm probably getting a sinus infection. Those seem to happen frequently for me. It's also, the season is changing here in the Pacific Northwest. Summer is coming around. And whenever the season changes, I get stuffy. So that's probably, I've already tried blowing my nose. This nostril's just not cooperating. But TMI, let's get to it. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot to say, so this will probably be a little bit shorter of a video. The 5 hitters to consider adding. Top of the list, I'm gonna put a prospect who hasn't been called up yet, but his call up is imminent. Riley Green, an outfielder for the Tigers. All accounts are that he's a stud. He's going to instantly be in a premium spot for the Tigers. He's going to be an instant star for the Tigers. He's someone that you should probably be considering adding to provide you some outfield help right now. Damn. Yandy Diaz of Tampa Bay, he's eligible at first and third base. The problem with Yandy Diaz, the reason he's so readily available all the time, is because he doesn't provide you any power at 2 premium power spots. But his accumulative stats typically are there for you to consider when you need someone to fill in. As an injury replacement at one of those spots, Yandy Diaz is always a good, solid bet, always at the top of the list. Garrett Cooper of the Marlins, he's eligible at outfield, first base, and DH. So 3 positions there for you is always helpful. He's swinging a hot bat, has been for the last week and a half or so. Andres Gimenez of the Guardians, he's eligible at both middle infield positions of second base and shortstop. He's been a low-level breakout prospect for a couple of years now. It seems like he may finally be living up to, I wouldn't say hype. There was not a whole lot of hype with this guy, but the belief was that he was going to develop into an everyday player with a decent bat for the Guardians. That may finally be coming to fruition, so he may finally be worth carrying in season-long formats in fantasy. But if not, he's still adequate middle infield help temporarily. And lastly, we got Brendan Donovan of the Reds. He's currently eligible at third base and outfield, but he's been playing Cardinals. He's been playing all over the diamond. He's the new Tommy Edman for the Cardinals. He's got starts at all the infield positions plus right field. So he's gonna have second base, shortstop, first base eligibility here shortly. I don't know how long it'll be. Depending on the format of your league. I think the minimum is like 10 games or 15 games in some leagues. So, it's coming. He's going to have basically diamond wide eligibility, which will always be nice to have. That's the kind of thing that kept guys like Marwin Gonzalez and stuff like that always getting drafted every single year because they were eligible to play everywhere. And that's always a good player you always want a player like that in daily lineups, daily transaction leagues, because, that if you have a guy like that, you just plug and play everywhere you need him, and you can have extra spots on your roster for pitchers, which pitchers pretty much make or break you in fantasy baseball in head-to-head daily transaction leagues. Rotisserie leagues, I don't play rotisserie. I tried rotisserie once. It was boring to me because you don't really get to make a whole lot of transactions. It's just kind of like, because you kind of have to limit it because there's like a max for the season. And I struggled with rotisserie. It's just not enough of it doesn't keep me interested in rotisserie baseball. So it's head-to-head only. Moving on to the pitchers. Sorry for my stuffy nose again. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it through, my normal voices, but I can definitely tell that I'm not talking normally. Tuesday, I got 3 streamers for you, starting with Edward Cabrera of the Marlins versus the Nationals. Edward Cabrera is a guy you should probably pick up and hold for the whole week. He's got a 2-star week. I know his matchup with the Astros I think it's going to be Sunday, isn't promising, but we also thought that his matchup against the Rockies in Coors Field last week was not going to be promising, and it was fantastic. So, Edward Cabrera's been a guy who's been on the radar for a couple of years. He's been a young pitcher with a lot of promise in the minor leagues. He's been called into the major leagues. Hasn't really worked out for him so far, but it's looking like maybe this third time it's finally the charm for him. He's got his mechanics and his command all figured out. I know one start is a small sample size, but I'm optimistic. I think he's gonna have another really good start against the Nationals and hopefully carry that positive momentum into another good start against the Astros for us this weekend. Jose Quintana of the Pirates versus the Tigers. Jose Quintana is an old, reliable guy who actually pitching really well for the Pirates. The Tigers are a team that is struggling right now. They've got some decent young hitters. When Riley Green does get called up and enters that lineup, the Tigers offense may get a little better. They got some promising young guys and some promising old guys. It's just not working out at this point. But I think Jose Quintana should put up a decent enough day for us to rely on him for at least one more start this season. And then Jeffrey Springs of Tampa Bay versus the Cardinals. Jeffrey Springs is coming out of nowhere, kind of. I've never heard of the guy till recently, but he's getting a lot of strikeouts, pitching really well for the Rays. I know the Cardinals on paper look like a tough matchup, but Jeffrey Springs will have Tropicana Field behind him, which is one of the more pitcher-friendly environments in baseball. And the Cardinals, they're good. They're a good lineup. I'm not trying to say they're not a good lineup, but they're not like a lineup that is going to, they're not the Dodgers or something that you really have to worry about on game-to-game basis. I think Jeffrey Springs is going to be just fine. Moving on to Wednesday, I've got 2 both the two earliest games of the day. Alex Faedo of the Tigers versus the Pirates. I really like Alex Faedo. I think he's got a lot of promise, a lot of talent. He needs to start accumulating more strikeouts, but the command is there. The ability to go deep into games is there. The ability to limit runs and walks is there. So he's already a pretty solid pitcher in his first year in the major leagues. I think the strikeouts will start to come. Even if they don't, still, I'm anticipating a pretty decent day for Alex Faedo on Wednesday against the kind of not great Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are definitely better than anybody thought they were going to be coming this year, but they're still not that great. I mean, they're still an embarrassment, really. And then Yusei Kikuchi of Tampa Bay against the Royals. He barely makes the cut here, barely under 50% in the streaming category. Not having the greatest season, but he does have the Toronto lineup behind him. And the Royals, despite all the promise they had coming into the year, they're not off to the greatest start. They're going to probably have a fire sale that starts here soon. And Yusei Kikuchi should... what's the word I'm looking for? I think he's going to have no problems getting a win against the Royals here, which wins count in most leagues as points. Kikuchi does have decent strikeout stuff, and the Royals aren't a team to be scared of. I think Yusei Kikuchi is going to be one of his better starts of the season, probably, if not his best start of the season so far. And moving on to Thursday, I've only got one for you. I like Zach Davies of the Diamondbacks at the Reds. We all know the Reds are horrific this year. Zach Davies is coming off a really decent start in his last start, so maybe he can hopefully carry that positive momentum into another start against another bad team. Zach Davies is on the trade block. He's one of the starting pitchers most likely to get moved here in the trade deadline. So he's an older guy. I mean, he probably loves Arizona. Most people love Arizona. I mean, I personally, I like Arizona. Even, the weather's nice. It's a nice place to live. But I think the guy at this point in his career would like to win. I mean, he's still going to live in Arizona in the off season. That's what all these baseball players do. They all live in Florida or Arizona or Texas or Georgia. They all live in those kinds of places in the off season. And then, they got spring training in Arizona, Florida, blah, blah, blah. The point is, he can still keep his house in Arizona and still live there in the off season and, go to another team, a contender for a couple of months and try to win a World Series or try to get to the playoffs or try to have some success. The point of that point, I can't believe I'm rambling this much, but this video is going to be shorter than it usually is. Still not going to be super short, as you can see, but it's going to be shorter, which I think is a positive development for the minimal viewers I have. So Zach Davies is trying to put his best foot forward, and the more success he has, the better it is for the Diamondbacks. So, and better it is for him to end up in a better situation. So, I like Zach Davies on Thursday against the Reds. I don't have any other streamers for you on Thursday because a lot of teams still haven't announced who their pitcher for the day is going to be, and the ones that have are either owned too heavily to be in the streamer tier, or I just really don't like them in their matchup, or they're just not good pitchers. Thursday seems to be the dump day for pitchers. Now, there's always one day every week where you're lucky to get one good streamer out of it, and it looks like it's going to be Thursday for this week. And yeah, I guess that's all I got to say. It's been a pretty chill, easy work week for me so far. Only one day left. I'm definitely probably gonna pull a 6-day work week next week because I'm missing a day for my trip. I'm going on a trip for 3 days, so I'm taking an unpaid day off to do that. So I'm missing a day next week. So make up for it by getting 6 days this week and getting some overtime, which will actually put me ahead. So ahead of where I would originally be in a vacuum. So yeah. Oh, and I was gonna say that I meant to say this at the beginning, but my credit jumped up like 35 points in the last week, which I'm really excited about because I need to get it back up. It's probably never going to be as good as it was before I bought a car, but I would like to get it back up to a reasonable number so that I can get another car, because even though I like the car that I have, which was like $500, it's a fun car to go drive. I don't trust it. I think it's going. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. It's got an oil leak. It's a beater car. The police have already tried to tow it because they thought it was a stolen car, just that someone dumped in my neighborhood. So yeah, I'm not going to put any money into the way it looks. I don't care. I mean, I do care about the way cars look. I've always liked nice looking cars like Jaguar E-Type. I like those kinds of cars. I'm realistic. I know I'm probably never going to afford one of those cars. If I do get one of those cars, I'm not going to drive it. But I'm not going to put any money into the way this car looks because I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't ever want to buy a new car again. But I would like something a little bit that I think that I can trust to go, drive up to Seattle or something, just drive across the country. Maybe I want to quit my job and go drive across the country for 6 months. Maybe that's something I'm strongly considering. That I don't trust my car that I currently have to do that. So, yeah. So I'm happy that my credit went up. A significant jump. I'm not sure what the deal was with that, but I'm really excited. I might possibly be able to qualify for a used car loan now, which really makes me happy. I feel like a responsible adult finally at 35 years old. All right, so this wasn't a whole lot shorter than it normally is, but I tried, okay? It's a little bit shorter, so forgive me, baby steps. All right, peace, love, and nacho fries. Good night. Good luck.